You are taking a look at some of the video coming in out of the Chattanooga, Tennessee area where you can see extreme flooding that struck that area. We know that at least 3 people are confirmed dead after that heavy rain. And this is some of the video out of Hamilton County. Officials have been surveying the damage throughout the day today as a local state of emergency was declared for Hamilton County. I do want to bring in Amy Maxwell with the Hamilton County Office of Emergency Management and County Mayor Weston Wamp joining us now live to talk more about all of this. Thank you both so much for taking the time to be here. I know it is a very busy time, so we appreciate it.
Of course.
First off, can you kind of walk us through how all of this played out with the storms, the heavy rain rolling through, and then that extreme flooding?
Well, our Office of Emergency Management let us know with a couple hours notice that there was likely to be heavy rains and flash flooding was possible. I was at dinner for my daughter's 9th birthday, and like everybody in town, began to see videos of accumulating rainwater on some of the major thoroughfares here. It ended up shutting down I-24 completely in both directions. As a classic flash flood situation. East Tennessee and Western North Carolina, in the most extreme of circumstances, have seen what flash flooding can mean. And so we were taking it seriously from the very beginning of the situation and had a multi-agency response that was excellent. Even had volunteer agencies coming in from the north part of the county. The majority of the damage is concentrated in the southernmost part of Hamilton County, the city of East Ridge, right at the Georgia border, and then into the city of Chattanooga. But we seem to have gotten past the worst of it, but we're worried that there could be some rain coming in this afternoon, so we're asking people to be on guard.
And we're taking a look at some of the photos, the video that's come in from this one's the Chattanooga Fire Department. We've also seen specifically out of Hamilton County itself. So has there been any sort of official assessment of the extent of the damage so far? I know that folks were out there earlier on today taking a look.
Well, Amy and I were both out earlier today with TEMA and the Office of Emergency Management doing an assessment, working with the state and city officials. We were with the mayor of East Ridge, Brian Williams, taking a look at damage, going business to business, home to home, and making sure that folks know who to reach out to, but also doing calculations at a preliminary stage to make sure that we get all the support to residents here that we can.
How does this flooding compare to what the Chattanooga area normally sees as far as flooding goes?
Well, this is extreme. I mean, this is the lowest lying part of the county, and it's a city that's known to have occasional flooding issues, but this appears to be the most flooding we've had, or the most rainfall in a short period of time since 1973. 7 inches of rain between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. And so this was extreme flooding, flash flooding, and which should be differentiated from flooding. I think there's some frustration. How did the interstate flood is one of the questions that we've gotten. And the bottom line is, when you see this type of rain in such a short period of time, anything can flood.
And I do want to pop up more of that video that we do have coming in out of that area, this one from Fox News itself, but you can see just the high water there. And sadly, we do know, as I mentioned, that there are fatalities. What do we know about those who lost their lives? And at this point, is anyone still considered missing?
Yeah, we actually do have one person that is still missing. We do have the Chattanooga Fire Department that has been working around the clock. They actually did see the gentleman get swept away by the waters last night, and they have been diligently trying to look for him. We have had some deterrence due to the fact of the heavy storms that we continue to have today. And unfortunately, we did have 3 people that did lose their life from the storm damage. It wasn't from actual flooding, but we had a tree that was fallen due to the loose soil, and actually a large tree came down on top of their car driving down the road, and unfortunately all 3 did not live, unfortunately, due to the large amount of the tree that actually killed them. So it was unfortunate. But, I will say this, we opened our Emergency Operations Center yesterday afternoon knowing that these additional resources were going to be needed to support our county, and rightfully so. We are very blessed to have these resources available. And, right now our top priority is just to make sure that we take care of our citizens and get our county back to a sense of normalcy.
And there are people who aren't necessarily familiar there with Chattanooga, Tennessee, and Hamilton County. So can you kind of describe that area for folks who are out there watching and maybe aren't familiar?
Well, it's the best part of the world, just to be fair with your listeners and viewers. We're on the Georgia border, midway point in a lot of ways between Nashville, Tennessee, and Atlanta, Georgia. Creeks and rivers, the county's cut in half by the Tennessee River, and mountains and ridges that make any type of emergency response difficult. And there's 10 municipalities. Chattanooga is the largest. East Ridge is the second largest. And you saw, again, a multi-agency response to the southernmost part of our county last night, taking care of neighbors, even volunteer agencies responding from the north end of the county with boats. And it was really well organized, state, local, all the way down, again, to volunteer agencies coming into heavily populated municipalities to help.
And you kind of mentioned this at the start of this, but what is the water situation like right now? Because, we're looking at these images, but essentially these are from late yesterday as well as overnight. So what is the situation on the ground there right now?
Well, most of the water has receded as of last night. We were able to open the interstate back up within probably about 10 p.m. We did have a lot of help with our local and state officials that were able to help remove at least over 60 vehicles that were stranded on the interstate so that we can get that main thoroughfare back up and running. So, I mean, we've actually had a lot of numerous 911 calls that we were able to eventually get them all answered. And, it takes a team to make things run well. And I do believe that we were able to accomplish what we needed to accomplish last night.
All right. Amy Maxwell there and Weston Wamp, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here and kind of break down the latest situation there on the ground. Our prayers, our thoughts, of course, are with you and the community there in Chattanooga and Hamilton County. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.